Many thanks to DayZ Podcast, Pandemonium, Wolves of DayZ, TSO Highlight Server, Line Lost and Fatal Attraction Vanilla Servers for making this video possible. DayZ 1.19 added super dark areas to the game that require light sources to navigate, so in this video we're going to compare all 15 light sources in DayZ to find the best and the worst ones, along with checking out the new long distance light renderer system that makes using light sources much more dangerous now. The 15 light sources in DayZ can be split into two different categories, 9 of which are radial lights and 6 of which are point lights. Radial lights emit light in all directions from our characters and include the 5 variations of glow stick, the road flare, craftable torches, the regular broom, birch broom, gas lamp, gas stove, flare gun and fireplace. Point lights on the other hand generate a cone of light in front of our characters instead, consisting of the flashlight, the head torch, universal light, pistol light, spotlight and vehicle headlights. All 15 of these have their strengths and weaknesses, but the most important characteristics that we're looking for are the distance they allow us to see, which is brightness, how long they last, duration, and how far away other players can see them, which is stealth. I believe the most important stat for light sources is how far away they allow us to see, which with most light sources in DayZ is not very far at all. For example, with the glow stick, it doesn't matter if it's on the floor, in your hands or attached to your backpack strap, it will emit light up to just 7 meters away, making it the second worst light source for distance in DayZ. The worst light source is the gas stove at just 1 meter, with most of them being between the 15 and 30 meter range, so not very far at all. The best light source in DayZ for range is the radial light of the flare gun, which is 100 meters radius, or the point light of the vehicle, which again is 100 meters, but the spotlight is very powerful too at 60 meters in a cone. From my test of the 2 craftable torches, they are exactly the same, and while you can apply lard or gasoline to increase the duration, this doesn't increase the brightness of them. Finally, for brightness, much like glow sticks, the universal light and the pistol light are just as strong while on the floor, in your hands, on a weapon or attached to your character, with the universal light on the shoulder slot pointing very unrealistically over your shoulder, working much like a hands-free head torch. Some items last longer the more fuel you add to them, so the duration numbers seen here are all items at their maximum capacity, which doesn't include refueling. The worst for duration then is the flare gun, lasting just 40 seconds or 30 seconds above the ground where it's useful because the light is a bit glitchy when it goes to the floor. The best for duration then, as you can see here, are the glow stick, the gas lamp and the spotlight, all lasting 3 hours each. And remember, you can refuel the lamp and the spotlight too, so these can last much longer than 3 hours. All battery powered items appear to last exactly 80 minutes though, but the vehicle headlights only last 30 minutes before the battery went flat from full. Using light sources at night in previous patches was fine because most lights couldn't be seen beyond 150 meters, and especially if they're dropped on the floor, the item would disappear for other players completely, so you couldn't see lights beyond 150 meters, but this has now changed. Like before, when you go beyond this 150 meter region, the light will fade, but at a certain distance, a light renderer system will be added and will appear and is much brighter than the previous light. So you can see this from very far away, allowing light to be seen at the maximum rendered distance possible, which is 1,100 meters. This applies to all of the lights in DayZ now, every single light source in the game. If you have a light in your hands or on the ground, or you're producing any kind of light, you will be able to be seen at 1,100 meters away. The size of the new light render is based on the brightness of the item you use, so the glow stick can only be seen with a 7 meter radius at these distances, where the road flare is 30 meters, and a flashlight will produce a cone in front of your character. But due to how bright this area is, you will stick out like a sore thumb at any distance, so the size of these don't really matter too much. However, they can give away what you're currently using as a light source. Even the gas stove with its 1 meter radius ball of blue light can be seen up to 1,100 meters away, so if you use a light source in DayZ anywhere at all, be very aware that you are extremely visible to other players now. Because stealth isn't possible using these light sources now, only 2 stats are important, brightness and duration, so by combining both of these stats we can create ourselves a rank to list the best and the worst light sources in DayZ. The third worst light source in DayZ then is the broom with a rank of 300, which is due to its low brightness at just 10 meters in a radius, but also because it cannot be refueled and must be carried in your hands to take it with you. Second worst is the flare gun, surprisingly, mostly due to its very low duration compared to other light sources. It can be heard up to a monstrous 1,000 meters away when used as well, and is unreliable on the ground for lighting your way, like I said earlier. The worst light source in DayZ then goes to the gas stove due to its poor stats and the fact that you cannot carry this light source with you when it's switched on. On the flip side then, the third best light source in DayZ is the gas lamp, as it lasts a very long time at 3 hours and has an okay radius. Second are vehicles with their 100 meter radius point light, and in first place, ranked the best light source in DayZ, is the spotlight due to its 60 meter range and lasting 3 hours per full generator. Now the last two are very difficult to acquire. A vehicle is difficult to get, a generator with a spotlight and fuel and a spark plug is difficult to get, making the gas lamp, in my opinion, the best for exploring areas like this. But if you want to go weapons hot, which I highly recommend, the universal flashlight on any of these 9 weapons is going to be the best for exploring these areas in DayZ. However, if you're one of the lucky 2 people on your server that have night vision goggles, they are obviously the best for exploring these dark areas and can be used up to the maximum viewing distance of 1100 meters with just a battery. And they don't emit any light to other players either, making them much more powerful now, which is the same as these 2 types of night vision optic attachment for weapons too. As a bonus tip, muzzle flashes can be seen up to 1100 meters too, but with a suppressor attached to your weapon, this light no longer appears, so night vision goggles plus a suppressor is the best combo for exploring these new dark areas, of which more and more will be appearing as modders get used to using these newly available dark areas, as seen in Scale Speeder Gaming's video on this topic here. If you want to learn more about which light sources provide the best heat bonuses, I've made a video for you here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good Christmas and New Year.